Vitamin time. There we go.
Oh, smell.
I need like a little claw to get in there. Scrape the vitamins off the bottom. Alright. What's up?
I'm a little dizzy, but I'm okay. I'm gonna go see if I can figure out.
You need to get set up over here and sit down so you can hang out with us.
I just need to get my phone. I heard it go off.
Okay.
I'm sure that I'm not missing any notes.
Oh, and I gotta turn some redeems on too. I turn all the channel point stuff off when we're doing IRL because
Can't really see them.
yeah, it doesn't show up on my device.
Whoa.
Okay, we're just turning on like just a few. Just a few. Supposedly, according to this, we got a nice tip.
Not.
Yeah. And then we even got a very nice cabbage you picked out.
Wow.
On the fifth.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's hilarious.
5-star.
Very nice cabbage.
And then it said I got a comment about good, like a smooth delivery or something.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh.
Quote cabbage.
Okay. Short, yeah, it's gonna be short today because I have to go over to my dad's house for my stepmom and my dad's mom.
We're glad that we had a little bit of time between work. We didn't actually know that this event was happening
until today.
Yeah, Alex was working when he got the call.
What kind of soundtrack? What are you feeling?
Yeah, why don't we listen to some Pokemon?
Okay. Oh God, that's loud. It isn't Father's Day, but it is Mother's Day. Yeah, and I have a stepmom. Is that a nice background noise level? Let me know. Okay. So we're just making this deck for fun. I thought it was in March. Oh, I thought this was some sort of Wales thing that I'm too American to understand.
That's exactly what Culbert's was saying.
But the commander here is Cyrix, Carrier of the Flame. It's the first ever legendary phoenix in all of Magic the Gathering. A creature type that has existed for like decades without having a single like commander. And no, Morophon doesn't count. Shut up. He's 2 black and red, so we got 2 colors here for a 3/3 Phoenix with flying and haste. He says at the beginning of each end step, not just yours, if a creature card left your graveyard this turn, doesn't have to have gone to the battlefield or your hand or whatever, as long as it was in the graveyard and then left to go somewhere else, target Phoenix you control deals damage equal to its power to any target. Whenever another Phoenix you control dies, you may cast Cyrix, Carrier of the Flame, from your graveyard. So that second ability is how you cast this Phoenix from your graveyard, because all of the Phoenixes have something to do with coming back when they die. Like this one is a Phoenix that says red, 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 return it from your graveyard to your hand, activate only if an opponent was dealt damage this turn. This one's Warcry Phoenix. If you attack with 3 or more creatures, you can pay 2 and a red to return it from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped and attacking. Lightning Phoenix is fun. At the beginning of your end step, and if an opponent was dealt 3 or more damage this turn, you may pay a red and return Lightning Phoenix from your graveyard to a battlefield. It's Lightning Bolt Phoenix. Phoenix of Ash is great because it has an ability that gives it +2/+0 until end of turn. And it's important to note that our commander says target Phoenix you control deals damage equal to its power to any target. So if we have Phoenix of Ash up, and we've got that Cyrix trigger on the stack, we can pay as many 3 as many times as we can to give it more and more and more power, and then slam somebody for like a ton of damage. So the goal of this deck is to always be cycling cards in and out of your graveyard in order to get this trigger on every turn and start just burning people down with direct damage. So in addition to some good Phoenixes, and we can't play all of Phoenixes because some of them are really specific and want to be in other decks and not in like a Phoenix tribal deck. We're also playing a lot of cards that exit your battlefield or exit your graveyard easily, like Reassembling Skeleton. 1 and a black for a 1/1 skeleton warrior. It says pay 1 and a black, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. It's really good at just getting out of the graveyard. Because it doesn't have to be a Phoenix that left the graveyard, it just has to be a creature card. So anything that leaves the graveyard for any reason will trigger it. We just have to also have some good like at least one good Phoenix in play. Squee Goblin Nabob is funny. Squee is this, like, in the lore, he's like this ridiculously immortal goblin. He just says, at the beginning of your upkeep, you may return Squee from your graveyard to your hand. There's also, there's another Squee. Let's see, which one is it? Squee the Immortal. You may cast Squee the Immortal from your graveyard or from exile. There's no way to get rid of him. You can exile him and they can still just cast him for his cost. he's just a stupid little 2/1, but it's just funny because like you can never get rid of him. I love this guy. He's great. Honestly, we might. You know what? I like him. Let's put him in the deck. I'm putting him in the deck. We're having 2 Squees. The Goblin Nabob and the Immortal.
Are they the same person?
Yeah, I think they are. His flavor text is, you gotta be pretty smart to live long as me, but not being able to die helps. And then Goblin Nabob's flavor text is, some goblins are expendable, some are impossible to get rid of, but he's both at the same time. This is a wizard version of tier list building. Yeah, pretty much.
So how many more do you need in here?
We have 83 cards right now, which means our deck is pretty empty because I've got all the lands in that I need.
So So you need 17 more cards.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the things we're really looking for is being able to get things out of our graveyard on other people's turns. That's going to be the hardest part. Because there's lots and lots of sorceries that do it, but sorcery cards you can only play on your turn. So
the EDH rec for Cirrus. We can see what that looks like.
yeah, alright. That's a good idea. I think if we just open this. Okay. Cyrix is really new. Like, just came out in the newest set. So only 235 decks, which sounds like a lot, but it's 0.021% of the decks on EDH Rec.
Is 83 a lot? Depends on the context. Age, yes. Card deck, no.
Exactly. So high synergy cards are cards that are in a lot of the Cyrix cards, but are not in a lot of the this card's colors. Decks of the other color. So it's like, these cards are specifically good for this commander and not for anything else. Because the synergy is... Will it show? No?
Yeah, at 94.
Well, yeah, but what that means. That means it's in... The synergy is... It's in this percent of Cyrix decks, minus it's in this percent of all red-black decks. So obviously, the high synergy cards, it's all the Phoenixes. It's all just Phoenixes. Because nobody runs these in, like, every deck, but they're in every Cyrix deck. The top cards, Faithless Looting, of course, is really good. Just pay 1 red, you can draw 2, then discard. The draw, then discard is really nice. And it has a flashback cost in case it wasn't good enough. So you can cast it twice per game. Sir Conrad the Grim is a card that I can't believe isn't more expensive than it is. It just seems like, put this in every deck that has black in it. It says, whenever another creature dies, or a creature card is put into a graveyard from anywhere out into the battlefield, or a creature card leaves your graveyard, Sir Conrad the Grim deals 1 damage to each opponent. And he also has an activated ability that makes each player mill a card.
That is very good.
He's so good. You just put him in everything. And he's 5 mana for a 5/4, so he can protect himself too. They must print him a lot because there's no reason he should be $1. Good choice on the music, by the way. Do you want to hear some music? Conrad would be good in Town of Salem, yeah. You can set it over there. In a neutral location. Sorry, I didn't mean to hog it.
Okay, baby.
You alright?
Just not feeling that well.
I'm sorry. Okay. So obviously he's in this deck, I think, already. Yeah, there he is.
Hey, Conrad. Hello, Esper's Eyes. It's good to see you.
What's up, Esper? Oh, wrong tab. Okay. Hazaret's Monument is really good, and I think is already in here. Wait, did I not put Hazaret Monument in here? Oh, I totally didn't. We need to put that in here right now. Hazaret's Monument says red creature spells you cast cost 1 less, which is really good for us. And then whenever you cast a creature spell, you may discard a card if you do draw. And that's good for us. Discarding cards is good for us because sometimes we don't want to cast a Phoenix, then try to get it to die, then try to get it out of our graveyard. Sometimes we just want to put it in the graveyard and cast it out of there. Or like get it to return somehow. Rekindling Phoenix is one that's really cool. It's a 4/3 for 4. It says when it dies, make a 0/1 red elemental creature token with At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice this creature and return target card named Rekindling Phoenix from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste until end of turn. So when it dies, it leaves behind a little egg. And then if you can't kill the egg, it blossoms into the phoenix again. The phoenixes are really flavorful and cool. There's also a phoenix that is really nice. Everquill Phoenix, which you want to cast for its mutate cost. Because it's from the set with Mutate. And Mutate says, if you cast this spell for its mutate cost, put it over or under target non-human creature you own. They mutate into the creature on top, plus all abilities from under it. Which is a fancy way of saying, if you mutate under, you like cut out the text box and put it on the new creature. But if you mutate it over, then it has the name, cost, typing, and stats of the creature on top, plus all of the abilities of the creature on top and all of the abilities of the creature on bottom. It's a weird way to fuse creatures into one creature. But anyway, the reason we're using it is because whenever this creature mutates, you create a red artifact token named Feather with pay 1, sacrifice Feather, return target Phoenix card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. And that's really good because it'll hit any of our Phoenixes. Usually a lot of the Phoenixes only help themselves, of course, but this one will help any Phoenix.
I like it.
Yeah, this music's good. We've got a couple cheats, a couple cheaters, because Cyrix says target Phoenix you control deals damage to any target. But we have a couple shapeshifters. So the shapeshifters have Changeling, which is, this card is every creature type. Every valid creature type.
It's also a Phoenix.
Yeah, is on this card, which means it's also a Phoenix. And this one says whenever an opponent casts a spell, any spell, artifact, creature, enchantment, you may put a 1/1 counter on Taurean Mauler. So it's 2/2, and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And if we can deal its damage straight to any target, beautiful. We also have Bloodline Pretender, which has Changeling. It says, as it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Whenever another creature of the chosen type enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on Bloodline Pretender. So, of course, we name Phoenix. And then every time a Phoenix comes out, he gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Is there stream tomorrow? Yes, there should be no problems having stream tomorrow.
You might be streaming in the morning, just if you're gonna be working in the afternoon, maybe.
Yeah.
No.
You think so?
Yeah, you could start streaming like 12 or something like that.
Yeah. We've also got some mean cards in here, since we're in black. We have Tainted Strike. Target creature gets +1/+0 and gains Infect until end of turn.
I'm so sorry. Hey, by the way, is there any way to make the images look bigger? Oh yeah, that does it.
I guess that does, yeah.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Infect says this creature deals damage to creatures in the form of -1/-1 counters, and to players in the form of poison counters.
That's so mean.
Yeah, poison counters are a special mechanic. If a player has 10 poison counters on them, they lose the game. And so, since Cyrix says whenever another, target Phoenix you control deals damage equal to its power to any target.
One-shot them.
Yes. If a Phoenix has Infect and 10 health, or 10 power, sorry, it can instant kill a player.
Yeah, I'll do it!
Yeah. We've also got Grafted Exoskeleton on here, which is an equipment that says equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has Infect. Although it does come with the downside, whenever Grafted Exoskeleton becomes unattached from a permanent, sacrifice that permanent. So, obviously a creature doesn't survive having that removed from it. But that's okay, because we're very experienced at getting stuff out of the graveyard. Yeah.
I am the world president.
Oh, thank you so much for the sub, Baku.
Baku with the 40th month of sub. Oh my gosh.
That is absolutely crazy to think about.
Thank you.
3.5 years.
Yeah. Let's get our dog a little treat for that.
Yeah, he's eating treats all day. He ate some kibble today too. I just smeared some peanut butter on it. Make it a little more interesting. Well, hi, buddy. Excuse me.
We just gave him a little.
Oh,
dog
that's
bath,
okay,
so
Colbridge. No
he's a
worries.
little sluggish. Hey, come, buddy.
I have to rise.
There's a treat from Baku TV. He's
Still,
moist.
He's kind of moist still. Oh, you poor thing. Yeah.
There we go. Gotta see the dog. Okay. Two cards that are pretty fun are Feign Death and Fake Your Own Death, which obviously have similar effects. This says until end of turn, whenever target creature gains when this creature dies, return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control with a +1/+1 counter on it. Yeah, this is the new Phoenix Commander, Baku. I'm just making it to play like online. I don't know if I'll ever like build it in paper, but it's kind of neat and it's a fun like reanimator style to make. But yeah, this says when it dies, and dies is moved from the battlefield to the graveyard. So it technically does hit the graveyard, then comes back, which is a creature card leaving your graveyard. Fake Your Own Death is the same thing, pretty much. +2/+0. When it dies, return it tapped, and you create a treasure token, which is pretty nice. Treasure tokens are free mana. Supernatural Stamina, same thing. Target creature +2/+0. When it dies, return it to tapped. The reason we have 3 of those is because they're instant speed, which means you can use them on other people's turns. And remember, one of the difficult things of this commander is going to be trying to get its trigger on each opponent's turn. We need to make sure that we're not just doing this on our turn, but on every opponent's turn. We need to take advantage of every possible chance to trigger this damage, so that we're really burning people down.
Should we look for some more cards?
Yeah.
Sorry, we just I don't know how much time we have left.
Okay. I've already looked through a lot of these. Player of the Hatebound is fun. When a creature enters the battlefield from your graveyard, deals damage equal to its power to any target. More burn. Let's see.
Do you want to look at some example decks then?
We could actually, yeah. Let's do that. Let's go to Architect and look for Syrinx. Is there a way to used in decks? Okay, here we go. Oh, hey, there's mine.
There's yours.
Let's look at this person's.
Yeah, Adaptive Automaton.
Other creatures you control the chosen type get +1/+1.
That's a solid add.
It's alright. It doesn't really further our goal of making this like a reanimator deck. It'll give each Phoenix we control a +1/+1. But we're more interested in making one Phoenix really big.
But look at the artifacts.
Okay.
Do you have a Soul Ring in there?
Yep. Yeah, we've got that. They've got Hearth and Home. +2/+2 protection from green and white. When it deals combat damage to a player, exile a creature you own. Search your library for basic land, put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle. That's more for pure tribal. Yeah, I don't think this commander is very strong at Phoenix tribal. They don't really help the Phoenixes do what the Phoenixes do, and Phoenix Tribal is terrible because all the Phoenixes want to do something different. All the Phoenixes want you to do something like weird with your deck.
About the land cost. They must have had some.
Oh, $300.
Stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
What did they add?
Here we can sort it by price, and see the crazy stuff.
What do they do?
Polluted Delta, just like a $70 land.
Sure,
Bloodstained Mire, another $50 land. Nykthos, why not?
Ryan won a Friday Night Magic with his Phoenix Tribal deck, but he admits it's bad.
Oh, yeah, no, I've got nothing bad to say about people playing Phoenix Tribal. It sounds really fun. I'm just saying, like, that's not the way I want to build it. Yeah, so there's just a bunch of, like, lands you can include that are expensive. Where's that? Oh, there they are. Gratuitous Violence. If a creature you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, deals double instead.
Not bad.
Actually, that's pretty good since our creatures are doing the damage. Doubling up on those. Yeah. Yeah, let's add that. I think there's some other damage doublers we can put in here too. Gratuitous. That's a cheap card too. I love adding cheap cards.
I'm gonna go get the heater to help you throw somewhere.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's good.
Twin Gods. Oh, yep, same thing. Ooh, and it flashes out too. I know there's one that says triple, but it's like really expensive. How many cards say triple on them, you think? 3 of them. And one of them is an unset card.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah, Fiery Emancipation says if a source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals triple, but this is like a $25 card, so maybe we can do without it. What were you saying?
Oh, the Thrice Reborn card, I just remember that card.
Oh, really?
He's familiar to me. Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a partner commander. It enters the battlefield with a loyalty counter on it for each time you cast a commander from the command zone this game. And actually, we do cast Syrinx a lot, because Syrinx says whenever a Phoenix dies, we can cast him from your graveyard. But we don't cast him from the command zone, so Jessica, unfortunately, doesn't really ramp up a ton. And when she's not your commander, you only get to play her the one time. Although she does do the triple thing. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, we only need her to enter with 1. She's pretty much just a sorcery card at this point, right? Like she'll only enter with 1 loyalty counter, but before anyone can blow her up, we can use that 0 on a Phoenix, and then if we target that Phoenix, we get triple damage from it.
That's definitely true.
You know what? I think I want to add that. It seems fun. And then if nobody does anything, oh my god, there's so many. Jessica, comma. There we go. And if nobody does anything about her, then we get to do it again next turn. So, I actually kind of like that. We're up to 87. I finally, Baku, you'd be proud of me. I finally put Fling in here. I feel like it's finally the time to put Fling in here, because you're so right. Every time you're like, Fling would be lethal here. It's funny. So Fling is you pay 1 in a red as an additional cost to cast it. You have to sacrifice a creature, And then Fling deals damage equal to the sacrificed creature's power to any target. You literally throw one of your guys at the enemy's face. It seems like a last-ditch effort, and that like it wouldn't come up in a lot of situations. But after playing a bit of Magic, I've learned that like God, what I wouldn't do to have Fling in my hand right now is like not that uncommon of a sentiment. It's kind of good. We also got Rescue from the Underworld, which is a really cool and flavorful card. You pay 4 and a black. As an additional cost, you sacrifice it. And then you choose target creature card in your graveyard, return that card and the sacrifice card to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of your next upkeep. So you literally send one of your creatures to the Underworld to go get the other guy and bring them back.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. It's really good with Sunforger. Oh yeah, because you can go get it with Sunforger. Yeah. Yeah, Sunforger is a crazy card that, like, I think it's only a matter of time before they make a commander that has like Sunforger-ish text on it. Because like so many people would want to run this card as their commander if they could. It's a 3-mana equipment. It's equipped for 3. Equipped creature gets +4/+0, and you have, as an instant speed ability, pay red and white and unattached Sunforger. You can search your library for a red or white instant with converted mana cost 4 or less, and cast that card without paying its mana cost.
Oh
then
my
shuffle.
god, that's insane.
So it has to be an instant, it can't be a sorcery. But there's a lot of red or white or both. Ooh, it has to be red or white? No, right. But it can be both. It can be any instant that has red or white in its cost. Yeah, and there's so many good things that you can go get and deal with situations. Okay.
I think we should try to bring something.
No, it sounded like he has a lot of food.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have to go too, actually.
Off to Mom's Day dinner? Okay, nice. Have a good time.
I hope your Mom's Day dinner is quite lovely. Happy Mother's Day to your mother.
Thanks for stopping by. There's some like just good black cards we could put in here, like a tutor effect. One of my favorite tutor effects for Commander is Wishclaw. Wishclaw Talisman, pay 1 and a black. It enters the battlefield with 3 wish counters on it. You can pay 1, tap, and remove a wish counter from it. You search your library for any card, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Very powerful effect. It also says, an opponent gains control of Wishclaw Talisman. You pick. So you can put Wishclaw Talisman on the table and then use it and say like, all right, who wants to be friends? who wants a tutor, right?
It's a lot of fun to use.
Yeah. Soraya and I both really like cards where the downside is that you give an opponent an advantage as well. It is a pretty fun way to play. We could also just put a
Diabolic Tutor.
Yeah, Diabolic Tutor, which is 2 black, search your library for a card, put it in your hand, then shuffle. There's also fun tutors that are like the deal with black that put stuff into your graveyard and your hand. And we could do some of that. Although, like, you got to be wary of putting too many cards in. Too many cards in that put stuff in graveyard and don't take it out. Yeah, Esper's right. Cards for the downside or cost to use technically an advantage. Those are the best. Yeah. I love those. Like Oh yeah.
Ones that make you discard cards.
Sacrifice a permanent.
Oh yeah, or sack a permanent.
Yeah. What's it called? Yeah. Oh, I've apparently searched for this before. Perilous research. We have this in the curse deck. Because the curses deck says whenever a curse is put into your graveyard from play, you can return it on the end step. And Perilous Research says draw 2 cards, then sacrifice a permanent, which is normally supposed to be like, uh-oh, you have to sacrifice something to get this. But for us, it's, one of my curses went to the graveyard, whatever shall I do? It returns attached to me, I get to put it on someone else and draw 2 cards for that. Yeah, it's very nice. Patriarch's Bidding. Oh yeah, so this is more of Phoenix Tribal. They want to like choose a creature type, return all creature types from the graveyard, or chosen that way from the graveyard to the battlefield. Mana Geyser is actually a pretty good late game card. You add red for each tapped land your opponents control.
It's usually profit.
Yeah. You do have to pay 3 red into it, yeah. And it only gives you red back.
As long as your opponent has 5 lands, you break even, so you're gonna wait until they have 6 lands out.
Yeah. Yeah, let's put that in there. Let's put Diabolic Tutor in, whatever. I wasn't about to try to spell Geyser live on camera. Even though I just looked at it.
But I don't like our cards that are so powerful. That's almost always useful when we play anything too, and stuff it wasn't meant to be played with. Like Ash Blossom.
Oh man, I wish Baku was still here. Yeah, Baku always makes the Ash Blossom jokes.
It is an interesting balance for Wizards to try to make cards that are fun and synergetic with other cards that aren't so OP that it's like, well, you have to include Soul Ring in every single commander deck now. You know, put Rogue's Passage in. You know, like, it's hard not to do that. I think it's the designers probably have a tricky time with that.
Let's put Chainer in. Chainer says discard a card. You may cast a creature spell from your graveyard this turn. Activate only once each turn. It's an instant speed ability, and it gets a creature card out of our graveyard. It's a little bit costly since we have to pay the full mana cost and discard a card. But might not be that bad.
I could pick up a candy bar from that grocery store. This right.
Yeah, I think so.
Might wanna.
Yeah, everybody's meeting up right about now. We got to 90 cards. Only got to put 10 more cards in there.
I thought we could help you.
Yeah. Okay. What's this? Ebon Death Dracolich.
That's really creepy. I like it.
You can cast it from your graveyard if a creature not named Ebon Death Dracolich died this turn. Okay. Oh, and it has flash? You gotta put that in. Yeah, that's pretty good. It has flash, so you can cast it from your graveyard if any creature dies. It enters the battlefield tapped, which is probably why it's not like ridiculously expensive, because that's like a really good ability. It's a 5 power creature with flying too, so like
I like that card.
yeah, it's pretty good. I thought Ashnod's Altar was a ridiculously expensive card, but you can get one for $10. It's incredibly good. It just says sacrifice a creature, add 2 colorless mana. You do it anything at any time. It's very good.
I bet that's used in a lot of combos and it fits.
Oh yeah, anything that adds mana at instant speed, hell yeah.
But it is colorless.
Yep, it's colorless mana. There's
But you could get a converter.
But don't worry, they
you can turn it into colorful.
They did print the broken bad version.
$90.
Not bad. The broken super
Right,
good version of
but
this card.
exist.
Yeah, sacrifice a
shouldn't
creature,
exist.
add 1 mana of any color. That's a $90 card.
Should not exist.
Should not. Okay. Well, like I said, it was going to be a short stream. We managed to stream for like an hour or so.
Yeah. Hey,
So.
maybe that'll be kind of the norm. It's just like stream whenever we can, you know?
Yeah.
In between your work and like.
And now, when you guys get to see this deck in action, next time we do a Magic stream, you'll know all the. You'll I guess have seen a fraction of the work that went into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna make Dark Phoenix rise. Do we have any friends live to raid? It's a bit of a weird time. Yeah, no, we don't. I'm just gonna turn the stream off. I do.
Thank you so much for being here, guys.
Ain't no law says you have to raid. Okay. Thanks everybody for watching. I will catch you next time. Tomorrow we'll probably do a more full length and a regular Redhead stream. Bye everybody.
Bye-bye.